the conversations I'm having with pastors, as soon as I say like, hey, we have a team to support you,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I don't have to launch another ministry.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Like we have Ashley and Rich and all the other groups team like here for training, like the group leadership training, Sexual Integrity 101, like all of it stuff is packaged and positioned to where you don't even have to reinvent the wheel. Like, hey, we got your support. We got regular meetings, trainings for your leaders. Like we're here. You're not alone in this. And they're like, oh wow, like how do I sign up for the church membership?
Yeah.
And so that part is really awesome just to see pastors go, I'm not alone.
Right.
Yeah, you're not alone. We're here to help.
Yeah.
I think there's a reality too in a lot of churches, and whether this is right or wrong, that could be the topic of another podcast. But in a lot of churches, unless people hear it from up front, and sometimes unless they hear it from the pastor, until then it doesn't really matter.
Right.
It's not really a big deal in the church.
Yeah.
And I think we get that that's true, because when something does matter to the church, it's like every service, all the people on stage are talking about, hey, don't forget coming up this new discipleship thing or this new class or this new opportunity. And everyone goes, oh, this really matters.
Yeah.
And if the only time we hear about like sexual integrity type things or pure desire groups is kind of these hushed tones or really small little blurbs in the bottom of the bulletin, that says something. And so as a pastor leader, you don't have to be leading the groups themselves, but I think it really matters that you feel comfortable enough with what's happening that you can champion it, that you can talk with support about, man, I believe these are life-changing, and I'm so supportive that our church has these, and that will just open doors for other people. And so I'd say if you're not there, my other suggestion would be to talk to other pastors that have these groups in their churches, and we'd be glad to provide some phone numbers and contacts. Say, hey, talk to some leaders. We'll even find some in your denomination that are doing this, and ask what impact it's having on their people, on their culture. Because I think, I know for me, until I heard it from another pastor, I had a hard time really seeing how could it work in my church, right? So it's one thing if a church member's like, oh, we need these groups, we should do it. And I remember a couple of times with ministries I didn't really know about, I would go talk to a pastor friend and say, hey, have you ever worked with so-and-so? Have you ever done this ministry? And if they said, oh yeah, we loved it, it was so good for us. Well, man, all of a sudden I'm thinking about it like, maybe we should do that. And if that's where you're at as a leader, I think that's great. We trust peers for recommendations. So talk to another pastor. And like I said, if you need a phone number, we'll connect you with some that you could talk to and just say, what impact did this have at your church?
Yeah, I'm envisioning the guy on stage who's announcing, and we have a potluck next week, and then we have sexual integrity groups that are going to start next week, and then back to the sermon. Let's all
that
pray.
Really fast voice at the end of radio commercials when they have to share the legal
it's
stuff.
Like small print, the fine print stuff. Absolutely,
that's what we do with the integrity.
Oh my gosh,
desire groups.
Another thing I would say on that too, if you look at the statistics, it's between 1 and 2 times every month that people on average go to church. And so, you may say it from the stage on one weekend, but you might be missing 3/4 of the people who are normally there, like at any given Sunday. And so I think that we need to make sure that we're doing that on a consistent basis, that it's like, okay, week 1 and week 3, we're going to say something. And then next month it's week 2 and week 4. We're trying to make sure we're catching people. Because if it is that important from the front, you have to consider not everyone's there.
Yeah, I know as a pastor, if it mattered to us, we said it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Because we're like, that will catch at least a majority of our people.
Absolutely.
3 weeks in a row.
Yep.